What concerned us the most from Ohio State's 52-17 season-opening victory over Nebraska? I'm Nathan Baird from cleveland.com. He's Stephen Means. I'm going to go first. Run game was not sharp today. Both Master Teague, who got the first carry, Trey Sermon, who then came in on the second series, just never really seemed to get it going today. I didn't know, it seemed like they weren't really hitting the holes that hard when the holes were there. I know they were getting some contact in the backfield, but I don't know how much of that was their hesitance and how much of that was the offensive line not kind of imposing its will on Nebraska early on. Last year, J.K. Dobbins made things look easy at times. They could really rely on him as a workhorse down the stretch of the season, putting up some big numbers. And part of that was also just the versatility he had as a runner, whether he could get to the edge, whether he could get those physical yards up the middle. This year, you're splitting that over two guys, and neither one of them really seemed to kind of run away with that. Now, again, J.K. Dobbins didn't look great in the first game of last season, made some corrections, and then kind of took off and had an amazing season. We'll see if that's something that, these guys maybe get more of a foundation, get their feet under them going into next week, kind of knock the rust off a little bit, which is an issue for both of them. Master T coming back from an injury. Trey Sermon didn't finish his last year with Oklahoma, hadn't played in a while. So maybe it's just both of those guys come in the next week a little bit warmer, a little bit more ready to go. But today, the run game just seems stagnant at times. Stephen, what was your biggest concern?
Yeah, the defense in that first series looked a little 2018-ish. It did get better, but I'm really concerned about this defensive end rotation. Nebraska got out on the edge whenever they wanted to get runs, and that's how that 47-yard run happened in the first place. They didn't really get to the pass to the quarterback as much. Haskell Garrett had the only sack of the afternoon. Zach Harrison, we all maybe thought he'd be a starter, or at least a guy when a game gets close. Him and maybe Tyreek Smith are the guys who are out there. Before the game, he's working with the threes, and he's the last one to see the field during the game. I think Jonathan Cooper and Tyler Friday probably had the most snaps. We'll know that for sure once 11 Warriors comes out with their snap count. But, yeah, I think that's something they need to figure out. I understand the idea is to maybe have some type of version of what 2017 was, but those guys were all talented and they were effective. Today, the defensive ends weren't effective. They're going to have to improve as the season goes on, or maybe just find the two or three that work best and stick with those guys.
Yeah, I want to see maybe if some of this was situational based on the matchup, if they come out with a different look against Penn State next week than they did against Nebraska with a very mobile quarterback. But I agree, that was an area of this team that was such a strength last year, and it's an area where I think they're still looking for that next group to step up. I'm Nathan Baird. He's Stephen Means. Come to cleveland.com for all of our coverage and subscribe to the text 614-350-3315. That's where we come first for breaking news and analysis, and all throughout the game and all throughout this week.